Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with another instant match reaction. And it isn't a good one tonight. It really isn't. I am very disappointed in not necessarily the competition that we've gone out of. Obviously, we've lost to Everton tonight, 2-1 in the Carabao Cup third round. But it's more the manner of the defeat and the way that Villa approached the game and sort of performed in the game. And that's the real disappointing part of it. And, we've had cup games previously. Obviously, Stevenage last season, Legia Warsaw last week, and now Everton this week, where we've just completely approached the game in absolute the wrong way, and we're getting punished. And absolutely fair play to Everton. They turned up with a game plan. They pressed us really well. They were well organised, and they finished their chances. And but Villa were just a complete damp squib, completely lackluster, and actually went out the competition with a whimper. And to put 10 minutes of effort in at the end of the game, towards the end of the game, once you get a kind of deflected goal, it's not good enough. It really isn't good enough. And we can't keep going into a game like this with this attitude, with this demeanor. Giving players who are potentially backups or even part of the first team squad that are going to be called upon, going into games and just being way off the pace, but not even way off the pace. I could forgive that if they were running and putting tackles in and putting an effort in. Just not good enough at the minute, and it isn't. It really isn't good enough. And we can't keep having this and then having to make it up or react with a good performance the following game or in the Premier League, because it's going to catch up with us and we're going to end up falling flat on our face. And are there questions about the squad at the moment? Yes. Duran started the game today. He's been on reasonable form with goals, but looked really raw today. Got totally schooled by their defenders and was completely anonymous. Diaby can't do it all on his own. He was very quiet today. Dendonka was really poor in midfield. Just not got the mobility that's required. Tielemans as well coming in, and he's been talking about wanting to play and telling the manager that he wants games. Well, at the moment, he doesn't deserve to even be in the squad. Absolutely embarrassing performance from that guy. Weak in possession, getting pushed off the ball, giving the ball away, ball watching, not sprinting, not closing down, not putting a tackle in. I mean, just embarrassing. And I could go through the whole team. It was just nowhere near good enough. Starting 11, I've gone through a few of the names, obviously, and what it was a fairly strong lineup. I was expecting a lot more changes. I mean, if I look at my lineup, I was obviously Olsen in goal. I was looking at Chambers playing, Longley playing, Kellyman starting as well. Ramsey wasn't in the squad, so I don't know what's the matter with him, whether he's being rested for the weekend. But obviously Olsen came in. Cash was at right back, Konsa, Dendonka, Pau Torres, and McGinn, Tielemans, Louise, Bailey, Diaby, and Duran. And we were thinking maybe Dendonka to centre back and Pau Torres to left back, but it wasn't that. Dendonka was in midfield, McGinn was left back, and Pau Torres was in the centre. And right from the start, it just didn't look right at all. No tempo. Passing was all over the place, and Everton don't need a second invitation. And Osborne. Osborne scored a good. Garner scored a good goal on 15 minutes. Um, Woeful defending from Villa, and that kind of really set the tone, because giving the ball away constantly, like sloppy play across the back, no options, no movement, just really poor. And the worst thing is we saw this last week with the game against Legia, and I don't understand what it is about these cup competitions. And then that didn't even spur us on going 1-0 down. There was more mistakes. There was a situation where Cash had slid in. Maybe he got fouled. Konsa went to clear it. It hits Cash on the face, then rolls across. The Everton player, McGinn tries to clear it, bounces off an Everton player, and Olsen just happens to save it with his face. And that could have been 2-0 down. before half time. We had nothing really. I think Duran had a wild shot that maybe you could have took a touch with, and a couple of crosses that didn't really do anything. And then we were very very lucky to go in at half time 1-0 down. Second half starts, we have a triple substitution. Ollie Watkins comes on, Boubacar Kamara comes on, and Luca Dina comes on. Obviously, Dendoncker and McGinn and Duran going off. And you're thinking, can we turn it around a little bit? But it's still the same old story. Just giving the ball away, sloppy, and we pushed up as that high line. Louise, no, Tielemans gives the ball away. Really, really poor, really lazy, really sloppy pass. Dominic Calvert-Lewin nips in, goes past Konsa, who just leaves a leg out, and puts the ball in the back of the net. 2-0, 50 minutes, and game's pretty much over. We huffed and puffed, kept the ball, but you're 2-0 down. Everton are going to sit back, and just see out for the victory. Boubacar Kamara manages to get a goal with after 83 minutes. We we um we rally the troops a little bit. We have a couple of chances. Diaby has a decent free kick. Louise puts one over from the penalty spot. But other than that, I mean, we didn't deserve anything out of that game. Just completely just lackluster. And I would hope that it's not the way that Emery wants us to play. Like you don't go into a game like just thinking, oh well, we'll just take the loss and we'll move on to the next, because you can't approach games like that. You can't approach games with that attitude, because it will catch up with you. We have Brighton on Saturday morning. What's it going to be like in the dressing room? You can't just dust that performance off. You're looking at players who you need to rely on to come off the bench to change the game, who might not be starting. You can't rely on those players at the moment. We can't rely on the likes of Chambers, who didn't play today. Obviously, Longley, who didn't play today. They haven't had enough game time. We certainly can't rely on Dendoncker as it stands at the moment. Tielemans as it stands at the moment. Yes, Duran has had a hot streak, but got completely schooled today. That's 6 players that I've reeled off there, 5 players, sorry, that I've reeled off there that would most likely come off the bench. Bailey's picked up an injury. Moreno's out injured. Is Ramsey out injured now? Like with our squad is suffering at the moment, and we're really having to dig out these performances. And you can't expect these reactions, particularly against high quality Premier League opposition. I hope it happens on Saturday, but the players will be disappointed, the manager will be disappointed going into training tomorrow, and then you've got to pick yourself back up for Saturday afternoon, early afternoon kickoff against a team that is second or third in the league at the moment. It's going to be a difficult one. It really, really is. I hope it happens. But for me, being in what would not nowhere near this level of football, but semi-professional football, you can't write games off. When you bring players in who are fringe players, you want in them to knock on the door. You want in them to put in a performance that tells the manager that they will be ready to step in when he comes calling. They're putting their hands up to be challenging the players that are in their spot at the minute, and not one player who is on the fringes of the team is putting a hand up to say, I deserve a spot in the team at the moment. Not one. And that is a little bit worrying at the moment. That's really worrying. It's a competition that we wanted to try and go far in. We have a decent history in. We're now out of it. Man City have gone out of it today. Would that have been a better chance for us to go forward in the competition? Obviously, yes, but now we're not. We can sugarcoat it and say it's less games, but we're on the back foot in the Conference League. What happens if we get beat next week? What happens if we approach that game in the same light? You know, is Emery going to have to put out a full strength side on Saturday? Obviously, a full strength side next Thursday, and then we have Wolves the following Sunday. That's incremental pressure that he's putting on himself. It's just not good enough. It's not good enough. And we need to rectify it quickly. Some of these players who are claiming that they need to be put in the first team, and Villa fans who are sugarcoating it. At the moment, we had a solid performance against Chelsea. We got the victory. We could have got beaten. They had good chances, but we didn't. We got the 3 points. Yeah, we got 12 points out of 6 games, which is good. But have we really, 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 other than the Everton game, been convincing? I don't know. So the performance level has to improve. The performance level from the fringe players has to improve. And today's performance doesn't give me any evidence that is happening at the moment. Yes, it's early season, but we need to step up at the minute. We really, really do. I hope for a reaction on Saturday, but look, that is going to be a tough game, a tough game. But tonight, really disappointing, really, really poor. I think the highest rated player on FOTMob, I don't even want to show it you, but the highest rated player on FOTMob was Olsen with 7.3. Tielemans got 4.9. Then Dunker got 5. Just so slow, so poor. I'm so disappointed in tonight. Just the approach, just the fact that we didn't put a challenge in. We didn't try and put them under any pressure. We just passing the ball about with no impetus, no purpose, no speed, nothing. And you can't pick and choose your games. I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to keep repeating myself, but I'm really disappointed in the manner of the performance, as you can tell. But yeah, it's like I say, it isn't the priority. We can say that for Villa, but just the manner of the performance, the way that we approach the game is really concerning me, and we need to step up for Saturday. Guys, thank you for watching. Please do hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. The content is going to keep flying through, so loads to come on the channel. We'll do match preview. We'll do a more detailed reaction tomorrow, and we'll do a match preview live tomorrow for the Brighton game. So make sure you tune in for that. But yeah, please do continue to support the channel. We're on the road to 3K, so hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I'm off to bed. See you tomorrow. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.
And running, and Villa is loud.